we didn't expect us to only have 21 games together, but it's kind of been that year. Either I'm in or he's in, and the times we do play together, we look really good.
We ain't on their level. Do I think we can reach the level where Milwaukee is right now? No.
Is the season over? Is the season over?
No, sir.
Thank you. I had no expectations coming to every situation, start from ground zero and try to figure it out along the way.
The 2021-2022 Los Angeles Lakers, officially formed August 2021. Today's video focuses on the stunted growth of the Los Angeles Lakers this season. Though there may be players on the team that didn't have expectations for this season, but whether you bet on basketball, are a fan of basketball, watch casually, or have ever heard of the Los Angeles Lakers, you had expectations for them to be better than the 11th seed with 4 games to go in the season. You expected this team of 3 top 75 players of all time to win more than 31 games entering the month of April. You expected them to compete for a championship this year, not the play-in tournament, where even if they do get in, they're almost certain a first-round exit, just like they were last season. And if you didn't expect them to contend, odds makers surely did. You expected Anthony Davis to take a step forward after his 2020 playoff run, except he's played 74 games since then because he can stay healthy at just 28 years old, and production-wise, a far cry from his first season in LA. No, you may not have expected Lebron James to have the individual year he's had in his 19th NBA season, averaging a career-high 30.3 points a game and passing Karl Malone for second on the all-time scoring list, but you may have expected him to galvanize this group a little better now that physically he isn't capable of lifting a bad team like he once was. But leadership-wise, and seeing his production is still very capable, his team should at least be a playoff team, not fighting for a one-and-done spot. There were many expectations for the Lakers in 21-22, but probably none more than their new addition that was supposed to round out the best big 3 currently in the league on paper in former league MVP, hometown kid, and Mr. Triple-Double himself, Russell Westbrook. It's been well documented by just about everyone talking about sports today how poorly a fit Westbrook has been this season. He's even acknowledged that this season has been so bad it's affecting his family personally, with his kid being made fun of at school because of the nickname his father earned over his career that illuminated under the bright lights of being on the Los Angeles Lakers. I think you get my point that this is not how the script should have went for one of the most popular teams in sports and a player many consider the greatest of all time. Stories like this aren't supposed to be written, but here we are. The shocking collapse of the 2021-22 Lakers and what stunted their growth. Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. As LeBron James walked off the floor following a Game 6 elimination loss to the Phoenix Suns in the 2021 playoffs without congratulatory handshakes to the winning team, some say, you just knew he would return this year with an expertly stacked team, carefully hand-picked for the King in order not to have that same feeling of early exit again. So during the offseason, we waited to see what name would fall to the purple and gold, and the King specifically, and more than a few names swirled around. DeMar DeRozan, Buddy Hield, and even another top 75er, Damian Lillard, who personally, those rumors scared me. I'm telling you right now, if the Lakers could have somehow pulled off a fleece for Dame, there's no way we're having this conversation today. Dame would have fit perfectly alongside LeBron at this point in his career. He'd be what Anthony Davis was supposed to have evolved into for LeBron, now closer to year 20 than we think. But none of those moves happened. Instead, the splash of the summer did. The announcement Russell Westbrook was traded to the Lakers August 6, 2021. Everyone all smiles as looking at them, again, on paper, no team could match up. Personally, I was relieved when it was first announced a deal was in place for Westbrook and not Lillard. Many could already see the problem there, but not as clear as it actually played out. Stunt number 1, Lakers management moves. We have to begin with the moves the Los Angeles Lakers made from the day they lost in the first round to the Suns as a gassed LeBron struts to the locker room after trying to carry the team on his back in an injury-ridden season for his co-star Anthony Davis, who played just 36 games. The first move they made was to sign Talen Horton-Tucker to a 3-year, $30 million contract. THT makes just under $10 million this year and averages 9 points a game, shoots 27% from 3, and does nothing else. He was supposed to be another attacker beside LeBron and give the Lakers an energy boost off the bench. Instead, he just looks in the way most games, as he's a player that needs the ball in his hands to be successful. Only so does the so-called greatest of all time to be effective. They signed Kendrick Nunn, hasn't played a game this year. Carmelo Anthony, who at this point is walled behind a three-point line he shoots 38% from. Trevor Ariza, been cooked in the league. Kent Bazemore, please. Wayne Ellington, this ain't Carolina. Dwight Howard, who's literally good for nothing at this point. DeAndre Jordan, nah. Malik Monk, one of their only bright spots, averaged a career high this season. Rajon Rondo, who fell out of rotation. Austin Reeves, solid future ahead, and a few nondescripts, and of course, acquiring Russell Westbrook and picks for Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and draft rights. Other than the 9-time All-Star, a pretty pedestrian shopping cart considering the embarrassment you were the season before. They missed on Buddy Hield, who would have exploded like a Malik Monk on steroids next to LeBron. DeMar DeRozan, who honestly no one saw having the year he did, but was still a better fit at the time than Westbrook. And missing out on prying Dame away from the Trailblazers just as they did in acquiring Anthony Davis. Much of the stunted growth of the 2021-22 Lakers has to fall on their management not putting a better, more suited team around LeBron and AD. Stunt number 2, Anthony Bubble Suit Davis. Sometimes you just wish you could put one on him. Every time he raises for an inside shot, I get very nervous for his health. Health this 2021-22 season for Davis has probably been the worst of his career when as much is at stake as it is this season. He's played in just 38 of the 77 games at the time of this video, and when he was in the game, he looked like maybe he needed to miss a little more. Between this season and last, which the Lakers were also unceremoniously eliminated early, he's averaged the least points per game of his career since his second year in the league. We see what the Lakers are when AD gets 4 months rest mid-season to what he looks like and probably will look like going forward when he's asked to play a full season without a Walt Disney bubble atmosphere. Because he wasn't able to give the Lakers the production they needed due to injuries during this season and last, the team had no real chance to go anywhere with one superstar last year and a disappointment this season. If AD can't remain healthy enough to produce like he did in 2020, the team should look to trade him while they can, because this late in LeBron's career, he doesn't have time to go nowhere. Stunt number 3, Russell Westbrook.
This is just a game. This is just a game. This is not end all be all. The moment my name is getting shamed, it becomes a issue.
Was there ever a more fitting name alteration for a player maybe in history? Jason Kidd was creative too, because he has no J. Like Jason Kidd, who was a laughingstock early in his career because he couldn't shoot, Russell Westbrook is also receiving flack for his shooting woes. Only difference is, Jason Kidd accepted the challenge and over time became one of the greatest shooters of all time, and Westbrook cries about it, saying it's time he starts checking people when they do use it because it's hurting his son's feelings at school. Well, the checking line has to be out the door because on my mama, everyone and they mama now calls Westbrook Westbrick, and rightfully so. For his career, Russell is shooting 30.5% from 3. He has 8 shooting seasons where he shot in the 20s from 3 and 6 where he shot above that. He's never shot at least 35% for his career. but also the manner in which he takes them and misses them equally makes the name more fitting. I haven't seen a more confident step into a three like Russ's. He's never been shy taking them, and when they miss, they do almost aggressive as he plays the game. Because of this, and also his turnover-prone capabilities, ones he's been known for his entire career, made him a horrible fit next to LeBron and Anthony Davis, which led to an embarrassing season, having Westbrook be healthy for the most games, but play as team decapitating as he did this year. Not to mention, he's such a team deflator when representing the Lakers in post-game interviews, as those hurt the outlook of the Lakers and Westbrook personally. I don't know when he began pitting himself against media and not wanting to do his full job, but that energy only transfers to his team and may have even led to losses. He was never a good fit. No matter how I feel about LeBron, I don't want to see him go out losing because his point guard is a bad fit. All in all, yes, the Lakers were disappointing. Notice I never listed LeBron James, as you couldn't ask for more from him at this or any stage of his career. He's playing shockingly great and doing everything he can to help his team win. He hasn't pouted or threw anyone under the bus, and that has to be commended. But other than his bright spot, the Lakers, as of now, will go down as one of the most disappointing Lakers teams maybe ever. Salute, much respect, but for these reasons, their growth was stunted. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. I'm out.